Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Showing your video. It was so funny. It's like I love that artist, and then I saw like, oh my god, there's this beautiful animated video. Like, how did you conceptualize it?
So Chris Cohen, the wonderful musician, who I really respect and like, asked if I would do a video if I had 2 months, and would I be open to doing an animation for it. I really respect him and his music, and he said I could do whatever I wanted. So it was a good challenge to also be working and trying to fit that in and figure out what to do for such a beautiful song. And so I asked him for some more context about the song and like tried to write down all the lyrics and kind of think through it. And he told me that the backstory context of the song was he wrote it as a song of support for a relative he has who's trans and was going through puberty and just having a really rough time. So he wrote it as a song of encouragement and support for them, and told me that they just really love animation and climbing. So those were some kind of like key elements for me to start with for it. Animation is my medium of choice, and then climbing was sort of the theme I was thinking about and trying to like accumulate different elements from. And also a lot of the lyrics are about constant change and transformation and how life is just a series of changes constantly, and so thinking about climbing as connected to that of just always kind of being moving towards something else and kind of like in a process. So I ended up choosing different elements to work with and then combining them in different ways. So like a climbing vine, a goat, a person, a ladder, a snake, which doesn't really climb, but I was thinking of like snakes and ladders and thinking of parallels of the vine and the snake. So
Nice, nice. So is it hand painted or computer created?
yeah, so it's I try in different pieces to just do a new technical challenge for myself. So I'd never done something fully with like gouache on paper. So it was all gouache on index cards.
Oh wow! So it's kind of like this side.
Yeah, it's big.
Cool. Any questions for the audience, or go ahead?
I kind of have more of a process question.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see like the textured paints against that like clean white background. You didn't do any sort of post-production or compositing or trickery to make it like that stark white?
I think it looked a little brighter here than I've seen it before. So every projector and screening space has like their different brightness contrast, but no, it was just like a brightness contrast adjustment. There's no like compositing. So that's just like the white of the index card and scanning it all. Yeah.
I'm curious about, I'm not familiar with your work, so I'm curious about like how you apply your animations to other forms of work and how it would compare to your approach to work in the music in the context, or maybe you do actually work with music in music.
Yeah, no, I usually don't. I've only made a couple, and they've each been a very particular thing. It's not something that I've like sought out particularly. And in terms of my other animation, like I work in CG and hand drawn. I'm working on a piece now that's all cell painted on photos. Each time, kind of like I mentioned, each time is sort of like a different personal challenge or technical process. I like to kind of like learn as I make a new piece. And I think a music video is always kind of like forcing you in a different direction. You don't have like the same kind of conceptual pressure on creating the whole thing, but like working to support, or the way I was thinking of it was to like support this song and think about how to respond to the context of why it was made, and also just the lyrical content, kind of intuitively work with that. But also working with Chris Cohen's music was tricky because it kind of feels like there's a really regular beat and rhythm, and it's kind of like got this folky thing, but Chris's music is always like way more complicated than it seems. So even doing a cycle that I thought would work throughout, it like he had other like little rhythms coming through, other things that would like throw off the balance that I thought it had. So it was really kind of interesting in terms of like cycles and rhythms and thinking about pacing to work to that song. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And how did Chris and his family member, how did it land with that?
I don't know about the family member, but yeah, I think Chris liked it. I think it kind of worked with the sensibilities.
thanks so much for joining us and
Thanks for having
for
me.
showing a beautiful video. And yeah, that's our music video show. Thanks for